Have you ever noticed how the most simplest things can be the most beautiful moments? So, like, a couple of days ago, like this week, I started going out at night to stare at the sky. For some reason, something in my body was just telling me to start staring at the sky because there was just a lot of conflict going on inside myself. And I don't know, something was just telling me, go outside and look at the sky. A lot of the time it was I wanted to do it in the daytime and just go cloud watching. But so much goes on for me in the daytime to the point where I never make it in time to go watch the clouds. So, it was something that's going on through my head for like a while now. And then starting like this week, like I said, I let go of that excuse and I went out at nighttime. It was really cold, so I had to put on a jacket and I went outside to look for a place to just lay my head and just stare up at the sky. I was looking and I saw one of those, and in the apartment complex where they have those green machine electric boxes, those big electric boxes, they're green, and you just see a lot of kids sitting on them most of the time. That's where that was like the hangout spot if you lived in an apartment. Yeah, so I found one of those in a dark area that had enough sky for me to look at. And so that's where I went and laid my head to just stare into the sky. And it was late at night, like late, like 1, 2. It was 1, 2-ish, I don't know. But it was past midnight. And when I was laying on the green box, just staring up into the sky, I kind of just started to decompress. Like, I relaxed myself. I had my I don't know what word I was trying to say, but it came out completely wrong. I had my feet hanging off the box, while I was laying, because the box is not big and I'm taller than the box. So, I had my feet dangling off the box, relaxing. My back was laid flat on the box, and I had my hoodie, to use as a pillow for the back of my head. And I just decompressed my body and just like relaxed. I started to take a deep breath, like, I took that one deep breath, then I took another. And then I took another that was less deep than the other. And I just kept on going less and less until I came to a regular breathing. I was just breathing calmly, like just like that. Like it was a real relaxed breathing. And then I just started to let my body just, relax. Like my arms just laid on my stomach inside my jacket pockets, and they just started to I just started to let loose, and they just fell down to wherever they fell down to. And yeah, I was just completely relaxed at that point. And I was just staring into the sky, and I was just listening to the outside noise where just you could hear the crickets from the distance, a bunch, but they weren't too close and they weren't too far, so it just kind of sound perfect. I could hear the little rumbling of the box under me, of the electric box under me. Just, making the noise that it makes, this and for a second it did kind of annoy me, but then it just didn't. After I just chose to not let it annoy me. Like, I just chose to say it's just not gonna annoy me, so I just chose, and then it stopped annoying me. So it became, relaxing to hear that also. So it just, the crickets, the rumbling of the box underneath me, and then to top it all off was the subtle wind and the cool breeze that I was feeling. Bro, I just stared at the sky. I just looked up and seen the stars and noticed clouds. And for some reason, it just was shocking to me to see clouds. Because for some reason, I don't know, I just forgot that clouds still were up in the sky at nighttime. I don't know. I knew it, but for some reason I just forgot. Because I never look up at the sky just to look up at the sky. But yeah, I just noticed the stars, the clouds, and the moon. The moon was, what's the word for it? It was basically a half moon, but a little bit under a half moon. I forget what it's called, don't judge me, but I just forget what it's called. But you might know what I'm talking about. But it was, it was this way. It was this way, like that. Bro, just that simple moment right there, it was so amazing to me. It was like one of the most beautiful moments I've had in a very, very long time. Like, I haven't experienced something like that in so long. And I believe that my body, my conscious, my subconscious, whatever it was just calling for me to get a moment like that for so long, because I forgot to see the beauty in life. There's something so beautiful about living that I feel most of us forget. And it's what keeps us all in this negative mind space, in the same cycle over and over and over again. Now, saying all of that, I want you to think of a time that you experienced a moment just like that, just a simple moment. Nothing too complex, nothing too crazy. I'm not talking about going to a water park or going to an amusement park. Or maybe it is that, I don't know, but I'm thinking simple. Just very minimalistic. Like, not a lot. Like, you don't have to pay for nothing. All of this is free. What is a time that you've had in your life where you've got to experience something just like that? What I explained. And that simple moment just felt so beautiful to you. Like, you just felt relief. And you don't even know what the relief is from. Like, because there's so much things that go on in your life. And in that moment, you're not thinking about all the things that go on in your life. At the same time, you are. But in a more calmer, relaxed way. You know, you're not like overthinking. You're not putting thoughts on top of thoughts on top of thoughts. You're not thinking, what if, what, but, you're not doing all of that. You're just thinking about like, maybe I did overreact in that one moment that I, you know, got mad about somebody stealing the cheese out of the fridge, you know? Like, you think about everything, but it seems like nothing. Like you're thinking about everything that you were stressed and overwhelmed and just overcomplicating. You think about all of these things and then you just see how everything that you were, you know, making such a big deal in your head is nothing. And it's literally, you realize that for just having a simple moment and taking in the beauty of the world. Like just that little moment right there, man. It made me realize how beautiful the world is, how beautiful life is. For real, for real. Like a day after that, it's like a day or two, I went for a walk to go get me a, let me start right here. So I wanted to get my wife some food, and I wanted to get her this Philly cheesesteak sub, because she said that's something that she wanted to try, and she was sleeping. And yeah, I went ahead to go call the restaurant and tell them to whip that shit up before I get there. And I went out with my keys, and I had a choice. I could take the car and just drive over there, or I could walk. And mind you, the place is not far at all. It's like literally just a 15-minute walk, literally, maybe even less. And I chose to walk. I usually don't walk. Usually I drive. Actually, I never walk. I drive. And when I went walking there, I was just looking at like the trees, the sky, the buildings, the cars, the trash on the floor. And usually you would look at that stuff and you would think, ugh, like so much clutter and this and that and trash and garbage and blah, blah, blah. But to me, it just seemed all beautiful. Like I seen the beauty in it all, you know? And like, when I say I seen the beauty in it all, it's like, I looked at the buildings and the cars and the trash, and I'm like, bro, something about all of these things are so amazing to me. Like the fact that these buildings are literally built by humans, and even going like step by step, these buildings, these cars, these cans on the floor, this trash, this garbage, they're made by machines. The machines are made by humans, and then the humans are made by God. And it's all just, you know, a crazy thought process to me. I don't know. It is so mind boggling to me, even though it's such a simple thing, bro. It's just a simple thing to think about that you don't really think about. And it just seemed so like, I don't know. It just seemed so cool at the moment. Like it just made everything look more beautiful. Like just looking at the garbage on the ground, it didn't seem, it just seemed beautiful for some reason. Like I wasn't mad at it or nothing, you know? Usually people will look at cars, they'll look at, yeah, you just look at a car and be like, bro, this is damaging the ozone, I mean the atmosphere or whatever, I don't know, you know, doing damage to the earth, planet earth. And it actually is, but at the same time, it literally came from planet earth. It all came from planet earth. And then not only that, bro, it's gonna evolve. We are evolving. We're going to electric cars so we can help stop the pollution that gas cars are putting onto the earth. And I don't know, I feel like I'm getting off track a little bit, but at the same time, like the point is just like everything doesn't, like, your outlook on life, it don't have to be negative. You can look for the beauty in the most simplest of things. The most simplest of things can have something beautiful about them. These headphones, something is just beautiful about these headphones, man. Just the fact that somebody created this from imagination. Somebody just imagined this, right? And just created it. And that's the point of me bringing up the cars and the buildings and the trash. Like, all of that is just imagination. Like, bro, that is imagination. People imagine these things. We're living in this world right now because someone sat outside, stared at the sky, and imagined it. Maybe it's not staring at the sky. Maybe they stared into the distance. They stared at a wall. They stared at the grass. They stared at ants. They stared at a bird in the sky. Bruh. I was outside one day staring at the clouds. I think this is actually the same day. Like, this is before I went to go get the sub. I was laying on the same electric box, staring at the sky in the daytime this time. And staring into the sky, I seen planes. I seen about 2-3 planes. And I'm like, how does somebody just come up with the idea of creating a plane? Like, something that's so heavy, flying in the air, higher than a bird can be. How does somebody come up with that? And then I see birds flying in the sky. And then I'm looking at this bird. I'll say I'm looking at this bird. I'm looking at this bird. I'm looking at the birds. And I'm looking at the plane. And they look the exact same from a distance. And yeah, it's like, oh yeah, duh, obviously. But the whole point is that, like, bro, somebody had to just be laying down just like I was, staring at the sky, watching a bird fly and thinking, what if I could do that? You know, and just came up with this whole imaginary thought of a plane. Maybe it's not the exact plane that's in the sky right now, but they came up with the idea of a plane. And somebody imagined that imagination enough, they sat there and just imagined that enough to the point where they were able to create a plane that flies into the sky that is shaped like a bird. Like, you cannot tell me the person that first came up with the idea of making a plane did not stare at a bird and have that, like, idea just spark in their head and they just start imagining. And not only that, I'm pretty sure there was many other people, a bunch of other people that imagined the same thing, but there was only one person that was delusional enough to actually go and do that. Like, go and create something like that. Go and turn that into a reality. I see my computer lagging a lot. So if this video comes out choppy, I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, bro, the most simplest of things are the most beautiful of things, in my opinion.